Okay.
Sure, can you
So
hear me right?
yeah, I can hear you, but your voice seems some kind of disturbance. It's not that much clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So last time we discussed about the three-tier architecture in the EBS. Okay. Generally, most of the software application use this kind of architecture. Okay. So like user interface, middleware, and database. So we use database for two purposes. One is storing master data and storing transactional data. Okay. So we just need to understand some basics of database first of all. So the first thing we know is like, it is used in the EBS for the purpose of storing data. Okay. But in database, generally, if you like try to learn about database, like it always says that like you'll have some set of commands. You'll have a different types of commands are there. You have a PL SQL is there, and also you can use Java inside DB, and you can use PHP or other language also you can use within the DB also. But anyway, so first thing is we use database for the purpose of storing data. Okay. And what is other purpose? Retrieval. This is again a very much important purpose of data. Storage is as much important as retrieval also, because just storing the way you want, it's not enough, because when a business stores the data, it has to have an efficient mechanism for retrieval also. That is where the queries whatever you write will come into picture. If you go on inserting the data and if you don't know the mechanism of retrieval, so there is no point in storing it, right? That's how, that is a major purpose of database. It is not only for storing, it is also for efficient retrieval of data. And before that, like maybe most of us, like we know what is hard disk, right? So like generally, like even if you consider your mobile phone or laptop or a desktop, you will have some set of storage mechanism, right? So when you consider, like the storage mechanism again differs based on, like a type of content you use it, or type of, like a functional, like a application you use it. Okay. So like a hard disk, generally, like if you consider Windows desktop, the content of any component in the hard disk, either it can be a file or a folder, right? Nothing but a folder or a file. So like why can't any EBS system simply use folder and file rather than database? The basic reason is it is not efficient retrieval. You cannot query, right? You cannot write a dynamic query to retrieve the data from your folder or a file. But remember this one. Sorry. So so in the hard disk also, if you consider a laptop or a desktop, even if you consider phone, most of the times we store the data the way you're retrieving it, right? But the problem is the retrieval is not that much fast as you compare to the database. So if you consider the EBS system where where you need to store like a lakhs of transactional data in your database. So but at the end of the day, the database which is there, like I see, database is not an operating system, right? On the operating system, your database will be there. So the database totally relies on your hardware in your operating system file mechanism. But so for an end user, what database will provide is like it provides set of libraries where you can store and retrieve data in a very efficient manner. Okay, but database stores all the data in the data files. Database stores all your data in a data file. Okay, any questions on this or?
Yeah, we can go.
Okay. Now, so like as I said you, the major purpose of database is storage as well as retrieval. So how do we store data? So when you want to when you want to store data, you have to name your data so that you can retrieve in a proper manner. That is why you require a database object which can store the data. So now in the database, if you observe, so I call them as database objects. There is something called set of objects in the database which will store, which we use it for the purpose of storing data. Okay. So there are only two components in the database which can store data. So one is table and other one is materialized view. Any other thing you are aware where database stores data?
No.
Okay, so these are the storage objects, I can say. You can call them as you can call them as objects, and these are the only two objects which can store data. And other kind of objects which you generally come across in the database are, the major one is views.
View, index, synonyms.
Yeah, sequence, synonym, right? And of course,
Index.
Index. Any other?
Sorry.
Of course, it can be some more also, but so these are the list of database objects. Okay, and how do you, as we know that these are the only two components which we use for the purpose of storing data, and the remaining components will will add up some extra functionality to your database, so that will be used according to your business logic. Okay, now, so one other thing is how these are the objects, if at all, if you want to store the data, the object should exist. Nothing but, let us say if you want to store some data in the database, you have to create the object. In the object, you have to store the data. You cannot just simply, if you consider your normal hard disk, you can just create a file whenever you want it. But in the database, if you want to store the data, you require a table object so that you can store the data. So again, now here, to create an object, there is something called to create or a modify object. We call it as DDL command, data definition language, right? Data definition language. To create any database object, we use a language called data definition language. See, whatever we are discussing, either in the SQL, right? Structured query language. Structured query language. So the set of commands in the structured query language are divided into many things. Many books call in a different way. So don't think on the like this particular definition. So you can, it's nothing but they divided the set of commands into some set of subgrouping, and they call it with different names. So some people call it as DDL, DML, DCL, and many more are there. Okay, but on a high level, in easier way to understand, data definition language is for the purpose of creating or modifying the database object. Okay, so we use it for the purpose of creating a table, creating a column, or dropping a table, or dropping a package. So these all things we use it for the purpose of these DDL commands. Okay, other one, DML, data manipulation language. So here it is clearly telling it is data manipulation language, nothing but we use it for the purpose of only storing or modifying data, no other purpose at all, or deleting, I can say. Nothing but, I'll tell you either the other easier way. Generally we call it as CRUD operations. Means creating the data, reading the data, updating the data, as well as deleting the data. So these are the four operations performed using the data DML statements or DML commands, I can say. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we can do is we don't want to concentrate on DDL at this point. I just want to concentrate on the DML part first. Okay. So in the DML, if you are aware, the set of basic commands which you generally use in the DML are select, insert, update, and delete. So this is what I mean to say, right? Insert is nothing but your create operation. Select is nothing but your read operation, right? Update is nothing but update, and this is delete. So generally, when we design any web, web-based kind of pages, right? We always think of CRUD operation, or even if you design a form, or even if you design a OF page, we always think of the CRUD operation functionalities. But when you design a reports, you always think about select, or mostly select. Of course, you may be performing DML operation inside it, but generally that's how it is. When you design a interfaces, PL/SQL interfaces, obviously you have to use all CRUD operation logic. Okay. Now, so let's concentrate on the select part first. So what we try to do now is, let us understand the basic syntax of select command. This is one of the very, I can say, a very useful one, without knowing, without having much, funda on the select query, we will not be, will not be clear with our SQL concept. Okay. So let's start with the select query. select statement. Of course, I may be using the normal tables, but I'll try to concentrate on the EBS tables. But I'll just show you the syntax of it. Let us understand. Let us get the clarity on the syntax first. So yeah. So here, if you observe, when you're trying to execute a select command, it requires from which particular object you want to retrieve the data. So select command is for the purpose of retrieving the data from database, because unless you don't know the source, you cannot retrieve the data, right? So that is where the from clause. So this, whatever you're seeing in the uppercase, we generally call them as clauses. Okay. Or you can call it as a keyword, clauses or a keyword. Either way you can use it. So now in my case, in the syntax here, if you observe, select like a list of columns you can mention, followed by from, followed by table. So this table, it can be n number of tables. Okay, this table can be n number of tables. It's not just a single table, it can be n number of table. So from clause specifies from which table you want to get the data, from which source you want to retrieve the data, and select specifies which columns you want to, or nothing but what columns you want to retrieve from the selected table. Let us say if you consider PO headers all table, it will have more than 100 columns. But in the output, you don't want to retrieve 100 columns. You just want to retrieve only 5 columns. Then what you have to do? You have to write only those specific columns in the select so that you can retrieve only those columns. So here, that is the reason you here, if you observe for the select, you have a different set of syntaxes. You have an asterisk followed by piping symbol, followed by something, like flower braces, right? So either of them is mandatory. Either you can mention asterisk or either you can mention column name. And you can also mention expressions. Expression means nothing but you can perform any mathematical expression, or you can call a PL/SQL function also in the select query, or there are some set of other keywords which you can use in the select statement, like distinct or a group functions like summation or sum of, average of. These all, these also can be used in the select statement. Okay. So like here, if you observe, these are some set of basic examples. Like now in the first case, it is trying to select all the columns from a particular table. In the next case, it is just selecting only few columns from a particular table. Okay. So let's do one example on, select query. 1 minute. What is the password? Okay. Fine. So let me open my system. This is 12.13 instance. Okay. EBS. Okay. I'll just, okay, let's save this queries first of all. Okay. So let me save the file. So preferably like in your normal environment also, always save your SQL query files, okay, so that you can always refer them in the future. So I enable them, store the file. Now, okay. So now what it is telling, like it is telling the release name, right? This is my EBS version 12.13. Release name is a EBS version. And now if you want to know the database version also, right, we can go with the this is a database version 11.1, right? Of course, you can get from the normal, like about this form also. Now let's take one example of our particular table. So which module you are familiar, like PO or GL or which one?
Any model, Scrum.
Okay, fine. So let's take example of purchase order. Okay, purchase order. Now, so as we understood our like a syntax, so select requires the column names, and from requires a table names, right? So this is syntax of from clause. As of now, select clause. As of now, we just read. So I'll just mention select. From I'll mention PO headers all. Okay. So if you just try to execute like this, it will not work. It is saying missing expression, right? So why it is telling missing expression? Because you're telling the source, but you're not telling what you want to retrieve in the output. So it is mandatory that you have to provide your appropriate column names, because else the compiler, now here if you observe one more important thing, now I have written a select statement which is a a developer language, right? Nothing but a structure query language, which is a developer understandable language. When you execute it, nothing but whether you press F5, F9, or whatever the shortcut you press it. So this query will be retrieved by the, like the SQL engine, which will parse your query, and based on that, it provides you a query result. It is not executing because it is unable to understand the question. That is why it is not giving you the answer. Very simple. And one more important thing, when you are executing any of the query, always understand what is the error it is giving. See, if 50% of the times it gives the appropriate error a particular line number. I mean to say, now it mentioned line number 11, so it is a perfect example of giving a error at a perfect line number. But this is not the case always. Okay, it is nearby, I can say. And understand here the error number. Okay, so always generally like Oracle, whenever you get any Oracle standard error, it will give you the error number. So ORA followed by a negative symbol followed by the error number. These are standard error numbers. Okay, SQL code and SQL ERM, right? When you use in a PL SQL, you'll get that one. Now let us say I want to retrieve all columns. So the first thing what I want to do is retrieve all columns from pivot table. So what should I mention? See, as this was having larger number of columns, I can't mention, if my requirement is to fetch all the columns, I can't mention all the column names, right? Because it is more than 100. It will take much time. What I'll do is I'll just mention star. So it will retrieve all columns as well as all rows. Remember here, it retrieves all columns and all rows also. Select clause can only filter columns. It can only filter columns, not rows. It can only filter columns. Okay. Now, so it is displaying large number of columns. Assume that I don't want to retrieve all columns. I just want to retrieve only few columns. What I can do, I can mention select pivot header ID segment 1, right? And summary flag, enable flag, and type lookup code. Is it a valid code? Right? Now I was able to retrieve 5 columns. And one more important thing here, if you observe, I mentioned line number 13, I mentioned uppercase, line number 16, I mentioned lowercase. It doesn't matter. See, the basic thing is all Oracle keywords are case insensitive. All Oracle keywords are case insensitive. And other thing, data is always, case sensitive. Remember this, data is always case sensitive. Whatever the data, when you're storing the data in your system, it is always case sensitive. But any keywords of Oracle, they are case insensitive. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more important thing you have to understand, this line number 19 is not always correct. I'll tell you. Now my table name is pivot headers, all right? So any database object in your system should be always available in the which table? I'll ask you one question. Now I have a table name called pivot headers all. Okay. Without executing the query, can I validate whether this table is available in my system or not? How do I do it? Without writing select star from pivot headers all, can I say whether this table is available in my system or not? How do I do it?
And describe a pivot header solve.
Okay, one option is describe. Any other option?
And function F4.
Okay, that is one option. Any other?
And we can check in all underscore objects table.
Yeah. So now in the all underscore objects table, okay, that is where I want to show you. Will this work?
Yes.
Will this work?
No. Select from all underscore objects.
Mhm. Is it a syntax error or a data issue or what issue?
I think
Data is case sensitive, right?
Yeah, correct. So, but here, if data is case sensitive, here, I was able to execute this query without, like in either way it worked, right? Here, I kept pivot headers all in capital. Here, I kept small. Both ways it worked. So, don't you think this will work in line number
this
23?
will work. It will work. It will work.
Okay, let's see. Why are we not getting data? Okay, I'll change it again and see the result. Now, will it work? See? Understood the difference?
Yeah.
Any object, generally, in metadata tables, it is always uppercase. These tables, right, with the tables which are generally giving you the information, like what is metadata? Metadata is nothing but data about data, right?
Yeah.
Data about data. So generally, like any table which is starting with underscore, they are always called metadata tables. Okay, but when you're trying to always search in metadata, make sure that they're in uppercase. Of course, I have seen that in some scenarios it stores the data in the smaller case also. Okay, that is the reason what you have to do is, now assume that you are not aware what kind of case it is storing, right? The best option is always convert both of them in a similar case. What you can do is you can just apply upper in both sides or lower in both sides, so that they always match. Because the current system which I work, right, I can see that there are list of records where the metadata is in lowercase also. Okay, so that is a real scenario. Now, where are we? Select columns here. So we have understood like how do we mention the set of column names, or we can mention all column names. Let's see, like one more thing. Can we mention a mathematical expression, right? I was telling you the expression. Let's see what we can do. Let us say I want to, find out. Okay, let me just execute first, and then I can see the column names, right? Let's see, I'll see the column names. And what I want to do is, I just want to see the number of days between the creation date as well as the sys date, right? So we know what is sys date, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll ask you a few questions on this. So in Oracle, the sys date, we use it for the purpose of getting the current date, right? Will it have time
Right.
also?
Yes, it will have.
Okay, but why it is not displaying here?
I think we should specify
The
the
format,
whole format.
So in the query you're saying?
DDMM,
In the query or SQL developer?
In the query.
Yeah, so it is not in the query. So here, if you see, right? So here it is like the date format. We are not considering, like whether you want to, like whatever the format which you have written, that's how it displays here. Now, if I want to display year in 4-digit, and also if I want to display hours, minutes, and seconds, I need to clearly mention this. Okay. Now I was able to see the time, right? And date and time. So date, whenever you create any variable of type date, it always stores date as well as time. And other one we have, right? Timestamp. So what is the difference between timestamp and sysdate? So the difference here, if you observe,
We say almost.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I thought it's almost same.
No, you have time zone, right? You have time zone as well as milliseconds. That's the difference. So sysdate can handle only till minutes and seconds, right? Hours, minutes, and seconds, but it stores milliseconds and also it stores the time zone. That's the difference.
Okay.
Clear? Okay. Now here, like I just want to perform some set of, like mathematical calculations in my pivot table. So what I want to do is, I'll just copy this query. I'll just mention creation date. Okay, now I just want to subtract the creation date between a current date. So I'll just mention sys date minus creation date. Is it a mathematical expression or not?
Yes, it's a mathematical expression.
So it's displaying the number of days, right? It just displays the number of days. Now I don't want to see this, dotted stuff. What I can do? I can just simply round, right? Round off this some date, it'll work. Now, I just want to, like, instead of displaying it as a round of sys date, like for the end user, when they see the column value, like it doesn't make any sense, right? So
Yes.
we just want to display like we just want to display some particular column name, nothing but column alias we call it as.
Yeah.
Created, or what shall we mention? POI labs date or something. Okay. Now it just considers that particular column name. Okay. So this is how we can mention column express like mathematical expressions also. Other thing we can try like distinct, right? So we have a distinct. Okay. Before that, I just want to show a few more. Okay. Just tell me whether this will work or not. Whether this is I mean, so there are only two options for you. This query will be executed correctly. Yes or no? When I run the query, will it give any compilation error or not? That is what my question is. Is it 100 a column name in the pivot header solve?
No.
So will it work?
I think it should not work because
Okay.
this is not a column in view header. So
Okay.
that is one case. But
Mhm.
but other side, I think this will give a records.
It can select any data of 100 maybe.
No, that will come after the data will come in condition.
Yeah. Select clause does not have any filtering criteria on the data. It is only for selecting the columns, but it cannot filter the columns. Nothing but you
But
can
I
just choose
think
the columns,
this
but
will,
yeah, you cannot have any conditional logic on the data level using select. So let's see.
this will give records, but I don't know why it is giving that mechanism.
Okay. Before executing that, I just want to see one more. Select count of star pivot header solve. Okay. So I got 24,253, right? So 24,250 rows I got it. Now I'll just execute this and see whether how many rows you'll get it.
The same.
You got the same thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just type one more thing. Will this work?
Yeah, this will also work.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. How about this?
It also will work.
So everything will work, right? This also will work.
Yes. Yes.
Now, let us say if I mention ABC, will this work?
It is similar to same 100, so it will also work.
Are you sure?
Yeah, this
So
is
what is the
just that
difference
is a number
between,
and this is a character.
okay, ABC is a character. India is a character.
Yes.
So
Yes.
India worked, that is why ABC also worked. That is what you will say, right?
This will not work. This we have to put it in a single quotes.
Okay. So any like now, if you don't mention any of the value without quotes, it assumes that that should be a valid column name in the table. Now, if I try to run it, it will not work because ABC is not a column name in the pivot header solve. That's the reason. Okay. Now, let us say if I mention ABC in the single quotes, it will work. Okay. So this is, like this very much careful you have to be. So whatever you mention, always understand whether the value you mention, is it a static value, or I'll just write here, is a static value, or is it a column name, or is it a expression? Just try to have a clarity on this one, a mathematical expression. Clear? And also you can call any of the function also. Yeah.
Okay, we can say these are static values we are passing now.
100 is a static value. India, static.
But Sridham, can you explain me how pivot headers these are? We don't have these values, right? So how it is generating?
See, pivot header solve is a table. That will be like
Yes.
these columns, whatever you mentioned, none of them are available in them in the pivot header solve. But as per the
Sure.
select syntax, if you have seen carefully, we can mention mathematical expression, right? We can mention a mathematical expression. You can mention static value.
Okay.
We can mention any table like this.
Yeah, obviously. Now, like let us say, if I consider table GL, or let us say, okay, let us consider GL ledgers, right?
Mm.
Still it work, right? Doesn't matter. Any table it will work.
But what is the purpose of passing
Mhm.
like this static values to the table?
To get clarity on the SQL.
Okay.
Any reality application.
In reality also we'll do like these kind of things. Now let us say, assume that I have like 5 columns, but in the 6th column I just want to display a static value always. Of course I have, right? Let us say I want
Yeah.
to print sysdate in each and every record when I run the report. It's still a real-time requirement. Or let us say, I'll tell you, if let us if we consider about the real-time stuff, I'll just tell you here. Let us say my ledger name is this much. Ledger, this is my ledger name. Okay, sorry, what's the column name? Name, just name, right? Yeah. So okay, now my ledger name is this one, but in the output I don't want to display just a name. I just want to display, I want to concatenate the name with some name. I mean to say, like I want to say like ledger name like this I want to display, followed by then ledger name I want to print it. And also I don't want to print all the digits of it. I just want to print only 5 digits of my ledger name. What I can do, substr, right, 1,5. Okay, coded ledger name I'll call it as. Can you see? So in this scenario, what I'm doing, I'm concatenating ledger name with my current ledger name. I'm concatenating the static text ledger name with the current ledger name in the system and considering the 5 digits of my ledger name.
Okay.
See, this is just a high level. There is no purpose or there is no business functionality or business advantage, but I just want to understand the other functionality. I'm just trying to give you a small kind of learnings. That's the purpose. Got it? Okay.
And scroll right here the data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to display only 5 digits. Ledger name followed by only 5 digits of my ledger name. 5 characters of ledger name. 1,5 mentions.
So it will give only 5 digits, 5
Yeah,
characters, right?
I'll show you if you want. Let us say
1 to 5.
yeah. Now if we just mention 1 comma,
So it should, if you give 1,5, it should return only India, right?
that's it. Now okay, again I'll ask you, will this work or not? Will
It
this
will work.
work or not? Will it
It
work?
will work. Yes.
Done? Understood?
Yeah. Yes.
Now let us say if I'll mention dual. Do you
We
know dual?
thought we can use this kind of things in only dual table.
No. Right?
Yeah.
Now other thing. What is dual? The basic, this is one of the very much important question in the normal interviews also. How many
Says
rows and
it will.
columns dual contain?
It has one row and one column, and it's a pseudo table.
Okay. Okay. It's a varchar to 1 and the column name is dummy. Okay. So generally the dual is provided, like in some scenarios where, like if you want to, what do you call, to calculate purpose, to invoke a function. Most cases, in those scenarios, generally you'll come across using a usage of a dual table. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Any questions on the select clause and from clause? As of now, we discussed only select and from clause. There are many things within the select.
Shrikant, we will see again that substring concatenate that function and all, right?
Yeah. They are generally they are part of functions actually. But I just introduced now to just highlight some functions.
Yeah, I want to know about that deeply.
Yeah, that is one of the very crucial functionality of a SQL.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And go
as
to
of now,
that all object
Mhm.
table.
Mhm. Yeah.
Here we pass the uppercase, right? If
Yeah.
some of the table it has lower means, if
Mhm.
both type it will be there, right? How we
Yeah.
can pass the
See,
function?
okay, try to understand this way. So when you're like, one simple thing I'll tell you is, like, let us say, if you're not understanding this query, right, the best way to understand what you can do is just try to apply the same thing on a other value. Now let us say upper of Dabur from GL. Now, what is the expected output? Whether the letter D will be in uppercase or lowercase?
It will convert the whole Dauber into uppercase.
Yeah. So D is already up in upper. Again, will it
Upper.
convert into upper?
No.
Gautam, you got the answer now?
Yeah.
Okay. Very simple. Upper of upper is always upper. Lower of lower is always a lower. Clear? And even you can up. Okay, I'll ask you
No,
one
I'm
more.
asking, can we pass
Hmm.
both the function upper or lower? What kind of data it is have? It should display like.
Okay, I'll answer. So you mean to say, can you repeat again?
If the data is
Hmm. See here now in
it
this case,
may
right? If you consider the
be
Dabur case,
uppercase or
yeah, the existing data doesn't matter now. I mean to say, you're applying uppercase on the existing data. Whether you already having the data in uppercase or lowercase, the end result will be always in uppercase because of this particular functionality. Similarly,
yes.
now let us say, I'll just say lower of. Right. Now what will happen? IRTL is already in lower. Again, lower of lower is again lower only. It doesn't do any
Okay.
change for them. That's a function. Okay. Clear?
No, I think his question is Sriram.
Yeah.
So
While
let's say
while
we have a
selecting
data.
here,
We
yeah,
have a data. We have a data which has lower and upper.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So here we are applying the condition on tables, right? So
Hmm.
let's say we have a tables which has lower and upper.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So he want to display the data as it is, both lower and upper, on the
Hmm.
based on condition. I think that is not that we cannot do. I think on condition, either we can convert into upper or else we convert into lower, right?
no, while I am selecting,
Hmm.
while we
Well,
are retrieving the data, right,
hmm.
it may be appear in lowercase or uppercase. I don't know about that, what kind
Correct.
of data it is.
Okay.
But I want to take that one, passing both the functions.
Yeah, that is the reason, right? So now that is the reason. What I've done is, see, in this, I was telling you one scenario where I worked, right? So generally 90% of the chances metadata object is always in uppercase, but there are some scenarios where the metadata objects can be in lowercase. That is the reason I was not aware of the case. What I'm doing is I'm applying the uppercase on the data which is available in the table, as well as I'm applying the uppercase on the data which I'm passing it, the criteria also. So that this always, like, if the case is different, they always make sure that they both of them are in uppercase, and it'll try to find the result for us. Got some idea, or shall I give you? Okay, let me give you one more example. I'll just take another table. Let us say, okay, which table? Okay, suppliers. I'll take SZ parties. Now let us say, yeah, this is a better. You'll have a sort of character data, right? Now let us say, assume that, like, you are passing a world of business as an input parameter to this particular table. Okay. Now what I'll do is, let us say you don't know what is available in the in the, like, assume that you're not aware what kind of, like, in what case the data is in your base table, but you're just simply passing like this. Okay. Now made I just made the S as a capital in the this particular data. So obviously we'll not
Yeah.
get the result. will not get the
Yes.
result. So now the solution for this one is, now just applying either lower or upper to the to this particular will not solve, right? Because let us say, assume that because of the case sensitive is not providing the data, but this will also
Yeah.
not solve the problem. This will not work. The reason is
Yes.
the data which you're
Yeah.
passing, you're
Exactly. My
converting it.
question is this.
Yeah. So the data which you're passing is, you're trying to convert all your data into lowercase, but you're not aware what is available in your source system. That is the reason.
Yeah.
Just make sure that your source system also converts your data. See, this where clause application is not converting the data, right? It just transforming your data at runtime for business purpose. You're not even changing your data at all. This lower of lower will work now. See,
Okay.
like a, yeah. So you have to convert both sides, right? You have to convert both, like you have to, you're trying to compare both parties. So both parties should come into contact, right? Then only, you know, it should be in a same kind of convention. Then only the comparison will work.
If we give an upper, it will work both sides.
Obviously, yeah. That's what. Either you mention upper on both sides, or lower on both sides. That's it.
Okay.
Correct.
But we can't pass both the function at a time.
Means upper of what? Means
Upper party name and lower on word of business, he's saying.
I mean, you can pass it, but you'll not get the end result, right? I mean to say, now in this case, it may not work. So this will work. Okay. So upper of party, because you're converting this data into upper, and you're
Yes.
converting this data into lower. So this will work.
Yeah.
This will work when you give like this.
Not equal to.
Okay. See, if you want to get the result, both should be on the same side. If you're both on the same side, still you're not getting the data, means data itself is a mistake.
Yep.
Okay, clear?
Okay. Clear, clear.
Yeah, this is just for understanding, I mentioned. Okay, so let's get back to our slide. Okay, where are we? So select columns, select, and from class we are little bit clear. Okay, we have few more examples, but later on
Yeah.
we'll try to understand them one by one. Okay, this is what we discussed, right? Select statements are not case sensitive. It can be in multiple lines. Keywords cannot be abbreviated or split across lines. When you're trying to split the keyword, right, it will not work. But when you write a select query, you can write in multiple columns. I mean, multiple lines. Just mention a comma. You can just without mentioning comma also, you can go to the next line. You can write it. Okay. Yeah, these are some of the basic guidelines for writing a select statements. Yeah. So arithmetic expression. All these arithmetic expressions are valid in select query. Okay. And it follows the normal mathematic rule called BODMAS, bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction.
Yeah.
Okay, it just takes this particular precedence while applying the arithmetic expression in your select query. These are some of the examples which we saw it, right? A similar kind of thing, not exactly same, but a little bit similar. When you are able to perform plus, obviously you are able to you can perform all mathematical expression. Okay. Okay, coming to the very important one, null value. Okay, let me see this. Let me tell you now. So what is null actually? Any idea? Can we compare with null? So here, if you observe, right, most of the columns, some columns has value and some columns does not have value. Wherever you don't have value, that's you're calling them as null, right? NULL, null. So I'll
Yes.
just let us get good understanding of null first. Select null from HZ parties. Will this work?
I think it will not display any data.
Means the query will work, but it will
Query
not
will
display data.
work.
So how many rows it will
Yes.
display you're expecting?
0, I think. Because let's say we have a 500 rows of these Z parties. Every row we have a data.
So I have 40,030 rows of HZ parties. So I have 40,030 in HZ party.
And it will display this count of null records.
It simply repeats null that number of times. Okay. 40,030.
Sriram, I have a doubt here. So
Yeah.
um, I don't know what's the requirement in real time, but can static and dynamic columns can we pass in the real time?
No, static. See, the static values you generally call them as lexical expression. We call them as lexical expressions. Actually, they are just nothing but expressions. Generally, I was telling them as static columns because those values will be repeated, right? That will not change dynamically. That's why I just mentioned static value. Generally, we call it as lexical values. Obviously, we use it in real time also. Obviously, we use it. I was telling you right now. I'll tell you one example. Maybe assume that where we can use it. Now, let us say here HZ parties. Take the example of HZ parties now. No, this will not work. Okay, so now here my requirement is not really a static value, but I just want to display some particular dynamic value based on the existing columns. Assume that, like I just want to display, my requirement is, I just want to display party number, party ID, and party name, but I just want to display a new column called party code. So this should be dynamically calculated based on the party number and party name. So 3 digits from party number, 5 digits from party name. This is a general requirement, right? Most of the times you may have a requirement like this. Or a simple example tell you, if you observe your PAN code, the PAN code will be having set of digits, right? Like maybe a 10 digit number. And if you observe carefully, that is convention is based on a state, your district code, and your local IT code, and followed by whether you're individual, you're applying it as an individual or a giant, and then followed by some convention. So that's how it generates. That's how it is generated. Or even in some companies, your employee number also the employee number which is generated is based on some kind of sequence. Or I'll tell you one simple example: bank account number. So bank account number in some banks, the bank account number is prefixed with your branch number followed by your normal sequence of that particular bank.
Right.
So static values, yes, obviously you'll have that kind of requirement. In some scenarios, what I generally do is, let us say, okay, I'll tell you. Assume that like you want to design a report. Okay, assume that you want to design this particular headset report. Okay, party code we have not considered. You assume that you want to design a report which has to display party code. Okay, where is part number? Okay, yeah. Assume that you want to design a report which requires all these 4 columns. Okay, that is a requirement, you're aware, but you're not aware how party code is calculated. You're not aware how party code is calculated, but your end user is saying that, can you just display 4 columns for me so that I will get the value from the business or something like that? Just can you display some kind of a static information in that? Later on, I'll try to get the value from each from my business. So in those scenarios, what you can do? You can simply just hard code some value and display it, right?
Okay.
You need to have some, see, in the implementation projects generally, there are chances you may not get requirements at a full allocate initially. You need to place some placeholders so that you can, you can you can switch, you can just perform the remaining things at later point of time. Okay, so that's how generally use these set of static columns. Clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, so I think we are discussing null, right? Okay.
Yeah,
so now
I want to know about that null, what sense it's giving in that line. Srikanth, it is not a static value and it is not a column name. What it is giving them?
Okay, see, null is, first of all, like null is a value, right? I'll tell you, to understand that, I'll just want to show you one example. Let us say I'll create x6 sample, okay, ID number. This is my table. Now I'll just insert into x6 sample values null. Okay, one row inserted. Similarly, I'll try another one. Now, line number 75 worked, 76 worked. So what is null now? What is null now? Null is nothing but a kind of a static value.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Now I'll just say select star from X example. We should get two rows. One is null and the other one is 10. So you can just consider null is one kind of value. There is no value at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Null is a value, but doesn't have any significance.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so null plays
In
very
that
crucial
case, we
role.
passed in that table 40,000 something count. In that case, that many static null is there. Is giving that many, right?
Yeah, this is giving 40,030 records. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
See, why it is giving 34? Let us say if I'll mention, it will give 40,030 now. Got it?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Because we have 40,030 rows in Azure parties.
Yes, yes. Select does not have capability to filter the rows. It is having a capability to select only columns. That's it.
Yeah.
Clear?
Sriram,
Yeah.
so can we say this kind of scenarios we can use it for hard coding?
Yeah, generally sometimes we do hard coding, right? In your real-time requirements also, like in some
Yes.
scenarios. Let us say if organization is ABC, you always want to display it as a new some other name. You always do some kind of decoding and hard coding also, right?
Yes.
Ob- Obviously it is not preferred, but in some scenarios you have to go with like that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So let us see some more examples of null. Okay. We discussed about null now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see a few more differences of null. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can you tell me where is error?
Keyword not found where expected.
Mhm.
From keyword. I think we
Okay.
should give comma.
Yeah. Can you see it? It is clearly telling error at line 80 and column 49, right? I'm at line 80 and column 49, right? Very simple.
Yes.
So in some scenarios it gives you the exact error, but it's not always. But yeah. Now in this scenarios here, if you observe, null with null is always null. Null with anything is always null.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clear? Null with anything null. Null with null is also null. Okay. You cannot apply any mathematical expression on the null. This is a funda you have to remember. You cannot apply any mathematical formula on the null. Clear?
Okay.
And even if I apply the same thing on any other table, you'll get the same result. But the number of rows differs. When you are trying to run the query for the dual, you'll get only one row because dual is having only one record. That is the reason. Dual is having only one record. That is the reason you're getting only one row. Now, if I mention some other table, let us say I can mention the table which I created just now, right? Let us say if I'll mention X example, I'll get two rows now. Clear? Okay.
Yes.
Now let us take how we can use null, or what is the generally scenarios where you come across with null. I'll just use of heads at parties. Okay. What I want to do is like I just want to print all the records where the validated flag is null. Okay. What I want to do is I just want to print all the records where there is no value for the validated flag. Clear?
Yeah.
To print all the records where there is no value for validated flag. Now what I can do, I can just simply mention where validated flag is equal to null.
Yes.
Correct? Why no records? Okay, it is saying validated flag is an error, right? So I'll just try to validated, where is that? validated. Okay, flagged. Okay, it is not giving any error, right? It is not giving any records.
It is null.
Yeah, so we have to apply is. So when you're trying to compare with null, is equal to will never work. When you're trying to use null, is equal to never works. You have to use is null. This is the first thing with null. This is the first condition you have to, I mean, this is like this is how you have to try to compare with null. Let us say if you
What
want
is
to,
the functional operation, Srikanth? Why it is not worked with is equal?
no,
So,
the log, yeah, first like
Sriram,
here,
so from my
yeah,
understanding, I think we are giving select star means so all the columns we are comparing to equal to null means it is not displaying anything, but right?
even like this one, this line number 89
Yeah,
query
yeah,
you're saying?
yeah, yeah, correct. 89.
No, here what are we trying to do? We're trying to compare all the records, right? All the records with null value, right? Whichever, nothing but
Null
the,
value.
so
Yeah,
we just want to fetch wherever the value is null, get me that record. That is what the
Yeah.
that is what the requirement was. But here line number 89 query, it is not working. Nothing but it is not giving any records. Even though we have larger number of records which are with the value null. Even though we have larger number of records which are with null, this line number 88 query is not printing any data because as per the SQL logic, is equal to will not work with null. Is equal to will never work with null because null is a different value. It is not your normal 0, 1, 2, 3 kind of value or ABC kind of value. It is a special value, I can say.
So it is checking that query is checking for all the record equal to null like that.
Correct. Yes, that is correct. Every record it will validate. Okay. Now assume this example. Let us say it. What it will do is see this where condition. Whenever you're writing where condition, this where condition will get applied in all the records. Nothing but 40,000 records. This where condition will get applied.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Now here if you observe, you may get some set of records, right? Let us say count rows. I got only 2,144. Nothing but out of that 40,000 records, only these set of records satisfied the requirement, and nothing but, I mean, where the condition became true, and only those records for which the condition is true printed here. The remaining records does not satisfy with this condition. Got it? So
Okay.
the list of records which are satisfying this condition only will be shown in the output. Remaining will not be shown. So where condition is for the purpose of filtering the records. It is for the purpose of filtering the records. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now other way I can try to write this same query. Now here this query, right? Instead of using is null, I don't want to use is null. Can I have another way? Yes, you still have another way. I'll show you. What I can do is I'll just say here I'll just say X. First of all, just try to execute this one. Obviously, it will not work. Now, what I'll apply to what will I try to do here is I'll just make use of 1 minute. Got stuck. Yeah, NVL of will this work? Yes, it will work. And see the number of records, they'll get the same 2144. Got it? But try to understand what is NVL first of all. Okay, then we'll discuss on the number of records. See this sample here. Now NVL of okay.
Yeah.
Now I just have 2 columns, right? I'll just say mention some column 1, okay, so that you will have clarity. I just call it as column 1, and this is my column 2. So in column 1, I got the result as sample. In column 2, I got the result as India. So here, if you observe the column 1, in the column 1, the second column is printed, but in the column 2, the first column value is printed. I mean to say, like here, NVL of null comma sample, the sample is printed here in this case, but in this one, India is printed. The basic thing is, NVL is a function. First of all, understand here, NVL is a PL SQL function, which takes two expressions, and it prints expression 1 if it is not null. The logic here is, if expression 1 is not null, return expression 1, else return expression 2. Doesn't matter whether it is null or not null. I'll show you one more example now in the same one. Let us say okay, column 3. In the column 3, it printed null because first expression is null. So by default, it will print expression 2. It doesn't matter whether expression 2 is null or not, right? Expression 2 is null or not. It doesn't matter for that. It simply returns the second value. If first expression is null, it will simply return the second expression. That's the logic. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So NVL is one of the very important function. We generally use it. Now here, in this case, right? Let us again on the validation logic. Let us try to write few more queries on the same thing, similar one. Now I just want to print all the records where validated flag is Y. So what I can do is equal to Y, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'll just say other requirement also. Now assume that my requirement is print all the records where the validated flag is null or n. I want to combine both records. I want to display all the records where the value is either null or n. What I can do?
Print all the records divided to the null or again.
So there are 37,629. 37,629 plus how many records which are with null? 20. Where is that? 2144. 2144. So the end result should have these number of records, 39,773. It should have these number of records. What I can do now? Let us try the options. One option is, can I write like this? Yeah, go ahead.
Valid flag is null and
Valid flag equal to null.
Is null or
add a condition.
this, okay. This is what you're saying? Just check the count. Are you getting the same records?
I don't understand the requirement. What is the requirement?
The requirement was to display all the records where the validated flag is null or n.
Okay.
Print all the records where the validated flag is null or n. Okay. Any other way we can write this one? Any other way?
You can use NVL.
Yeah.
NVL of 3.
N will of n. That's it. Got it? Same records. 39,773. So I applied NVL here. So let us try to see how it is working, right? Now we know that NVL, we know how NVL works, right? Like if first expression is null, it will consider the second value. Now our requirement is to print all the records where the value is either null or n. So wherever the value is n, it will work by default. We know that, right? Wherever the value is n is equal to n, that will, I mean, that's how it will work. Like nothing but this condition is there by default as per our query. So wherever the validated flag is n, this will work. But wherever the flag value is null, what will happen is that flag value will be replaced with n at runtime, right? Now n will be compared with n, so that will also work. So the records which does not have, see, NVL comes into picture when, now like, okay, let us assume that. Now assume this first case. Now when I execute this first record, what will happen? What is the value of validated flag? It is null. Nothing but this null value will be replaced with n. So now n is equal to n is satisfied. This first record will come. Similarly, if you consider second record, so now what will happen? The value of validated flag is already n, so you don't require the second n. You'll just compare the first n with this n. That's it. It will work.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is a scenario where you have to use n, like NVL function. Okay. Yeah. So okay, I think pretty much we discussed on the same. I mean, similar examples on null, I guess. Yeah, we'll have few more examples on null also. I mean, sometime later also again. But yeah, this is just high level overview again on the null. Column alias, like this is just for the end user representation. You know, like this is not stored. The column name, whatever you mention, will not get stored at any place, right? There are multiple ways you can mention. So here, if you use like if you use double quotes, you can mention the space in the column name. So here, if you let me write that also. Like now, let us say you want to display party name. Now I just printed party name now, but I want to print party details like this. I want to print. This will not work because you mentioned a space here. Now if I mention party details like this without any space, it may work, right? It is working. But if you want to mention the space in the column alias which you mentioned, then what you have to do is you have to mention double quotes like this. This is generally preferred when you're writing SQL based reports, SQL star reports in the normal concurrent programs, right? If you observe in the normal EBS concurrent programs, there are few reports which are based on the SQL star plus SQL reports, only just SQL queries. In those scenarios, it's kind of, you know, like you're designing some end user reports which requires a proper column name. You can't mention party underscore name, right? You may have to mention appropriate name so that end user can understand. In those scenarios, this kind of logic is preferred. Okay. Yeah. Any questions so far or?
No, it's clear.
Okay. So concatenation operator just nothing but, you know, like it is for the purpose of concatenating two values, right? So doesn't matter which column data type you're concatenating. Here, if you observe, let us say select sysdate. It will work. Doesn't matter what data type you're concatenating. If I mention 1, 2, 3, this will also work. Clear?
Yeah.
This is a concatenation functionality. So we were talking about these things, right? Like static text. Generally, we call them as literal characters or literal values.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to eliminate duplicate data from your particular, like while displaying the data, if you don't want to duplicate, if you don't want to display a duplicate values, then generally you can use a duplicate. You can make use of this particular functionality, like a select distinct on that particular set of stuff. So now in our case, what we'll try to do is, let us say,
Distinct can we apply on multiple columns, Sriram?
yeah, you can apply. You can apply. Now I just want to display like a see. Now I have this heads at parties, right? I just want to find out distinct party types used in this particular table. I just want to find out the distinct party types. What I can do, simply mention distinct party type. So you'll get the list of distinct party types which are available in your system. So this in some kind of scenarios, just for developer purpose, you prefer to use it. Or in sometime real time also, we need to use it distinct also. There are chances you still use distinct. Okay.
Okay.
Let us say, select star from GL or okay, GL ledgers. Yeah, in this scenario, obviously data will be distinct, right? So you'll not have it. I mean, whether you apply distinct or non-distinct, you'll get the same set of records, right? Maybe I'll just take another example.
Can you write on HZ parties for all the columns?
Yeah, we can write HZ parties. Now, party ID, party number.
So we have to give all the names, right?
You mean to say like whether I can apply distinct on multiple columns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, distinct will work.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if you want to apply on the whole table, let's say all columns, so we have to give all the column names, right?
Yeah, if you want to mention all column, yeah, you have to explicitly mention all column names. You can't
Is there
mention.
any alternative?
No, you can't mention distinct star, right?
Okay.
You mean to say like this? You're saying
Yes, yes.
this? Yeah, it is still working. Yeah, distinct star also it is working.
Okay.
Yeah, distinct star also working. Okay. So here, if you see the duplicate rows are just for just displayed, not but they are still remain database. Okay, it is not for retrieve. It is not for removing the data. It is just only for retrieval purpose. Any questions so far, or shall we go ahead?
You can go ahead.
Yeah, few more minutes. I'll take it. Okay. So displaying the table structure. So far we have just seen some queries like for retrieving the data. But if you want to know what columns are available, what data types it is, what data types available in the query, you can just make use of in the table. You can make use of this describe. Okay, describe not only works on table, generally it works on PL/SQL function also, right? Maybe let us say this that parties. It will work on the views also, right?
Yes.
It will work on synonyms also. So it works on a couple of objects, not only just these things, right? Yeah. So yeah, pretty much end of the session. So far we discussed about select clause, from clause, NVL functionality, distinct, describe. Any questions?
Sriram, not on this, but
Yeah.
sometimes I see people will write select X from
Hmm.
table.
Hmm.
What does it mean? X, what it denotes?
Select X
X, yeah,
from table.
from table. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and they'll give a condition. So what?
Okay, that is for when you are trying to use not exist or exist logic, right?
Yes.
So that is specially used when you're trying to use exist set of records or something.
Okay.
Okay, that we'll discuss. Exist nothing but like you have written a query one like this. Assume that you have a query one, and now you want to check the availability of query one values in the query two. Okay, and you want to give the result only when this query two is having a when query two is having records. So what you do is let us say you'll just say where number exist something, and here you write only select X something like this here. Okay, so this is just to have some column name, because select query will not work without mentioning column value, right? That's the reason this just mentioned dummy value there.
Okay.
So that is a purpose. And also maybe if you have seen some queries like this, like this also they mention, right? Select star from. Right?
Yes. This will be written true.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Okay, let me ask you a few questions on this. This will work?
this will work.
Okay.
No, it will not work.
No.
0 equal to 0 is nothing, right?
0 is equal to 0, nothing. It will work, boss. It will work. 0 is not null. 0 is a valid value, right? A valid numeric value. Okay.
In that logic, it is working, and as well as it is 0 equal to 0, anything, we are comparing same value, right? So it will return true.
Yeah, correct. That is why it is working. Now, if you try to see line number 140, this will not work. Correct. Line number 140, no records.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll come we'll come across in the future going forward, right? This
Yeah. As of now, we have not discussed about the where clause. So far, we just discussed only select and from. This just I'm just giving a simple examples, some examples.
Srikanth, can we go NBL one more time?
Yeah, definitely.
I want to know how the engine is checking, how it is validated first, next validation what, like that.
Okay, see. Select from heads at parties, right? Now let us say. Now assume that I just want to print party ID, party number, party name. So my requirement is wherever validated flag, is not having value, just print NA. My requirement is for the records where there is no value for the validated flag, print them as NA. Remaining cases, just go with as it is. What I can do, I just need to I'll just try to prefer validated, prefer NVL here. NVL of validated flag. So wherever the value is null, I just want to print NA. Okay, new VF. I'll just say new VF. Clear? Now see. Now just see. I could see NA in world of business. Let us see if you want to still curious, why, how, whether is it the NA which is printed is correct or not. What I can do is let us say print both, print validated flag also. Now you'll understand.
Okay.
Now here null is there, it printed NA. Okay, it is very correct. It is printed null and NA, it is correct. But let us see where the values F and other values. Now in some scenarios you also have F. F is there, F is printing, right? Now let us understand how null is printed as NA. Here the logic here is now assume record by record fashion. Now for world of business, see, basic thing is, okay, one more important thing I'll tell you before this. In any of the select query, we know that select and from clause are the basic mandatory clauses in a valid select query. Mandatory clauses in select query are both select and from. But a maximum clauses set, the set of maximum clauses which can be available in select are select, from, where, group, having, and order. Okay, so if you're perfect in select, you have to know all these things, the 6 clauses. Okay, now the other thing you have to understand is what is in what basis. Now let us say in our case we just have only 2 clauses, right? Which is executed first, either select or from? From will be executed first.
From will be executed.
Because until unless you know the source, you cannot select columns, right?
Yes.
Okay, from is first and select is second. Now in this case, okay, you know what is the source, you know what is the columns. So it will filter one by one column. Nothing but it will try to validate each and every column. So once it reaches at this column, what it will do is it will just see what is the value of validated flag. Validated flag value is in the first record, it is null. So now as per our logic, what this function will do, these 2 values are passed to the PL/SQL function and it will print NA if the value is null. That is why it got NA. And similarly in second record,
is only for validation with null NBL function.
Yes, it works on it is for the purpose of nulls only. I mean to say the logic here is it takes 2 expressions. The function takes 2 expressions. If the first expression is null, it will return the second value. If first expression is not null, it will return the first value itself.
As it is.
As it is, yes, as it is, no change.
So we can compare with null values, then we can use NBL.
Yes, of course. Generally, like in the earlier case, we just want to print the records where the validator flag is null as well as n, right? Where there also we use NVL, like to just have a, like to a proper query. See, there are a number of ways you can write it, but still, like in some scenarios, you can just simply use the simple query using NVL. You can design your query in a very simple fashion using NVL. Got some idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just try to
Any
run
full
it
form
like
is there for that NVL?
null value. Null value. Maybe I'll try to find out if there is any difference, any different full form for that. But as far as I know, it's null value kind of.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Fine. So then, shall we wind up for today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Sriram,